Good morning, DFD. It is December 14th, 2021, and we're in the process of recovering from the Telestaff outage that we experienced last Saturday. Chief Villanueva and I have spent yesterday and today working with Captain Hernandez on getting a contingency plan in place, and what we've come up with is a Google Sheet contingency roster. So I'd like to give you a quick tutorial just how to use it for reference. This is a short video, so bear with me. If you sign into your Google Drive account, you should have access by now, or hopefully you do, to the Downey department folder. If you click on the department folder, you'll have references to all of our policies and procedures, everything that we shared last week in a previous email, but now you'll see the DNY Telestaff contingency roster. So if you double click on that roster, you should already have access to it. If you don't, it'll request access when you try to open it, and we'll grant you access. For users who are not staffing captains, you'll have view only rights. It'll say view only here. And if you are a staffing captain or above, you'll have editing privileges. Personnel who would like to request to sign up for availability roster or request time off, you'll need to call into Station 1 and talk to a staffing captain or other personnel who have access to editing this page so that we can document those requests for both availability for sign up and also for time off when we complete rosters. So you can see here some folks have already started to sign up for availability. We're marking that with an X. You can see that displayed up here. So you'll call into Station 1, say, hey, I'm available, and you can give the dates, and the dates as of right now are marched out until January 22nd, so we can get our availability back up and running. If you have a time off request, same plan is that you'll call into Station 1, talk to somebody with editing privileges, and you'll request your time off. That person's going to document your hours, what kind of leave type, and the date and time requested. So in this case, like Landers has a 24-hour CTO request that he put in at on December 13th at 1400 hours. So that would be kind of the how to label it going forward, so we can document who has requests for time off when we go in and we do staffing. So ultimately, what it comes down to is there's a few other time accounting pages down here. You can look through them. This is an accruals page, and then this is a recall page. You can see the accompanying document that kind of outlines how we're going to approach overtime hours being zeroed out and recalls, at least in suppression, being tracked as of December 8th. That's our most current record. For dispatch and AOs, you're going to be zeroed out on both overtime and recalls. And again, refer to the document that is accompanying this video for further information. If you need to see the roster, this is where we're going to be doing the rosters. Rosters are going to be per date, will be per tab. So you'll see the tabs populated down here below. So today's the 14th. So here's the current tab for staffing. You can see it's C shift. It's the 14th. It also corresponds with the tab down here at the bottom. And then each position, in this case, Captain Bohannon is an acting position for minimum staffing because Chief Brown is taking 11 hours of executive leave. So this is going to be our attempt to track who's in the seat. Number one priority here, obviously, is for fire ground accountability, making sure that we're keeping track of everybody and who's on the roster and who's in the seat. That's number one. That's safety paramount, number one. But number two is going to be this accounting of what hours are being used, who's working, who's partially in the seat, et cetera. And as I can kind of show you here, it'll march out in these tabs so that when we're doing rosters, in this case, C shift will be doing rosters, I believe, for the 19th and the 20th. And so today they're going to be filling out these rosters. You'll see it's C shift for the 19th, C shift for the 20th. And as they do rosters today, this will start to get built out. And we're going to do normal staffing procedures per policy. But there will be some caveats and changes. And for the staffing captains, I hope this is a little bit of an overview. What you'll need to do is as you go through and as you document Chief Villanueva, 11 hours of minimum staffing and executive leave for Chief Brown at 11 hours, you would go into the personnel accruals. And in here, it should then show, sorry, I'm almost out of my free time. It should show that Brown took time off for 11 hours. We need to add an executive leave here, and that Chief Villanueva would have 11 hours of overtime, and this will become the accrual. So we know how to prioritize who gets time off when we go to do rosters. So I hope that's a little bit of a help in an overview. I appreciate your time. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.